At this point in the day, we've heard several examples of collaboration by design, unlikely partners coming together in new and innovative ways. And hopefully by now you're starting to believe that collaboration has a potentially larger role to play in your own life, that of your family, your business, or your community. And Patrick and I believe that collaboration, if done correctly, can be the key to overcoming some of life's greatest challenges, some of which we'll outline in our talk. But it is the contention of our talk that the success of any collaboration that you engage in starts with you.
Collaboration is about working together. Collaboration by design is simply about working together better. And I'm sure you'll agree that many of life's activities are better done together than alone. Let's have a look at a few examples. Tennis, this guy played alone, still lost. Hugging is definitely something that's better together, but choose your partner wisely. And teeter-totter is a lot more downs than ups if you don't have a partner. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. No, really, trust me, close your eyes. I want you to think about some of the collaborations in your own life. First, let's start at home. If you live with anybody, you already collaborate to create a household. Is that collaboration as fruitful and enjoyable as you'd like? Think about work, projects you do inside the office, collaborations you do with other partners. Are they as efficient and effective as you want them to be? Now think about the community. What we do in the community quite often is in collaboration. Is that as fruitful as it could be? Now, open your eyes and think back across the things that were just inside your mind. The common denominator is you. But it's not about just being there. Showing up isn't always enough. Look at these two. What a plan. You tell your mum, 2 o'clock, we'll meet at the park. I'll tell my mum, 2 o'clock, we'll be there. We'll teeter-totter together. Not quite the outcome that they were looking for. But these are kids. Surely, professionals do it better.
Fortunately for many of us, our collaborative mistakes aren't this visible. But again, I think this highlights the point that collaboration, it takes careful planning, it takes design. So how do we set ourselves up for this kind of success to take place? Well, again, it's our belief that it all really begins with you.
So today, on the TEDxMacatawa stage, we have a new product launch. It's an amazing new software, and you're just going to love it. It's going to take your collaborations to the next level. You have heard and used the iPad. You have played on or listened to the iPod. Today, we give you the UPad. Steve Jobs got a much better response than that. What the UPad is an acronym for a software system you can plug into your own brain. And it's the concept in your next collaboration of changing your perspective, challenging your assumptions, and moving from fear-based to opportunity-based decision-making.
So the first condition of UPAD is to change your perspective, because as we know, life looks different depending on your vantage point. I think that's why it's so important as individuals that we do and try new things that stretch our understanding and view of the world. And when it comes to collaboration, perspective is equally as important. I find that far too often we head down a path before we ask questions like, do we really have the end user's input? Do we have the voice of the customer? Or have we consulted the parties ultimately responsible for implementing whatever it is that we're creating? So regardless of the size of the magnitude of the collaborations you're involved in, one of the first questions to ask up front is, what are the perspectives needed? And make sure they're represented at the table. The second condition follows closely behind the first because it's often our perception of the world that helps shape the assumptions we make about the way things work. And in large part, assumptions can serve us well, but they can also be detrimental to our success. In fact, some highly respected and intelligent people have been making bad assumptions throughout history. Fortunately for us, they vocalized them. Maybe you've seen a few of these quotes. There's countless others out there like them. And again, when it comes to collaboration, it's on us. It starts with us challenging our own assumptions about the other individuals in the group, but then also as a group, being willing to ask, what assumptions are we making about this product, this service, or this idea, and are they founded?
The third condition of UPAD is moving from fear-based to opportunity-based decision-making. When we show up to a meeting or a collaboration or a project, we make a lot of decisions. And in business, we make decisions every day. But when we show up from a fear-based perspective, we hold on to what we showed up with. And we're scared of things like being put in charge of something, not being put in charge of something, sharing your knowledge, sharing your resources, sharing your client base. You're scared of the competition that might come from that. So we hold on so tightly that when we get out at the other end of the collaboration, we quite often have what we started with because we held on to it so tightly we weren't able to grow. Robert Frost knew a thing or two about decision making. His classic poem, The Road Less Traveled, talks about which path do I take. But I think the last verse in his poem really spoke to that he was an opportunity-based decision maker. And he said, I shall be telling this with a sigh, ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So to summarize, before we go deeper into this UPAD software, it's about you changing your perspective, challenging your assumptions, and moving from fear-based to opportunity-based decision-making. Now, Patrick and I, we work together a lot in community development, so we are in collaborations, large and small, on a weekly, if not a daily basis. And when we started to put this chat together, we said, well, would this really work in something as big as maybe education, or poverty, or health? So we looked at that.